a big thing that people focus on, making sure when you're talking, the voice inflection, everything's flowing. But you don't want to flow right through questions to the point where they're like, wait, did she just ask a question? And it's kind of an awkward silence, you know? Like Jeff just gave an example, like saying, so the first question I have for you guys is, and so they know they're going to be asked a question, they're going to have to answer. So now they're already more attentive than they were than usual. But when you go right through, so how's the job market now? They're like, wait, what? And they're waiting for an answer. So you want to make sure your questions sound like a question.
Yeah.
That's really important. Also, not being flowing through different topics and giving any, like you want to do a little bit of a pause to know that here I am moving to a next topic instead of going right from, so we did so-and-so, and now we sell $260 million annually. And then going into the next thing, they're kind of just like, wait, what? So make sure, even though you're flowing, to have kind of chunking or segmenting so you understand that, okay, we're going on to the next topic without being like, we're going on to the next topic.
So let me review because I just forgot we weren't recording this. We should have been. So don't answer questions by repeating their answers. Use words like okay, sure, or oh, that's right. Not, oh yeah, ready? Say, Naomi, why do you think we do this in a group, not one-on-one?
Sure, it saves time.
Right, it saves time, as in like, good job. Like, sure.
Wow.
Or right, that's correct. Like I can even say that's correct and not be correct. That's correct. Okay. Number 2, make sure that you, what were we just saying? As you're trying to memorize the interview, don't worry about the words. Read the paragraph and write down in your own words what you just said on the paragraph and have a running column. It'll be easier to process so you can internalize, not memorize. Okay? And then Eric, you're about to give a couple thoughts.
My last one is throw my kids a couple of curveballs. Just like as you said, you can tell someone memorized it or internalized it by the way they react to a question. And there's going to be objections in your interview the same way you get objections in a demo.
Yep.
The faster you understand the reason behind that objection, the easier it'll be to answer it. So, for example, in my small group, I threw out a curse word as one of my answers. They were like, oh, how's the job market? And I said blank. And I wanted to see if they got frazzled, or I wanted to see. And you have to maintain a level of professionalism so people understand that you are the boss and you're not just some kid in a fancy suit running an interview. So you're a professional.
Can you give an example?
Yeah. There's going to be people in your interview though when you ask them a question, they're not going to be paying attention. They're not going to be taking notes, and you may get irritated or annoyed. You have to maintain that level of professionalism. And you
I'm saying,
ask the question. Oh, true. Yeah. Guys, can anyone give me an example of, or better yet, what's the question we've been asking
the
about?
Job market?
Yeah. How would you guys describe the job market?
It's like crap.
It's like shitty.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good answer, but if you could refrain from using curse words, I'd really appreciate that in the interview.
And you could say it that way, right? Or and that almost comes across as a little uncomfortable too. Another way. So how's the job market?
It's pretty shitty.
Sure, I wouldn't say it that way, professional, but yeah, it's not so good, right?
Ooh, that was good. That was good. I thought I did.
But you can. What I'm saying is, this is Eric's point. You have to maintain composure.
Right.
Or sometimes they'll say it's really shitty, like, and you just don't want to say like, oh my gosh, should I say something? I don't know. Does it like me? Does it not like me? Got it?
So I think that's just a big one. Professionalism, even in moments of lack of professionalism.
This is good. This is a good exercise. Hey, Michael, you're going to be up in just a bit, so I want to make sure you're prepped, and I just throw it on you. So Mike's up with PRs next. So here's the next part. When we get to the next section in October, you'll be responsible for the second half of the interview. Here's how I want to get to it. Can you see if Delgado's back on yet?
Yeah.
Number 1, just schedule an interview, okay? Worst case scenario, sometime before Thanksgiving, get your first one out of the way. Like, that's the long term. Pretty solid pace is before Halloween, okay? Because you don't want to be too much into the push and you have to run your first interview. But if you're up to me, I would just, you know how I learned the interview? My district manager, Crady, says, all right, Gamboa, here you go. What's that? That's the interview. 2 weeks. What? You're running the interview in 2 weeks. And it wasn't actually, I wasn't surprised. She said, okay, I'm going to give you 2 weeks. And you can read. And by the way, I don't care if you read your first 10, 15 interviews. There's a difference between reading and you've processed and reading and you're just reading.
Also, record yourself. You have to record yourself once.
Yep. Record yourself and you'll watch. Like, my name is Jeff Gamboa. Like, some of you do that. Hey, my name is Jeff Gamboa. Like,
Hello.
Yeah. Well, hello, right? So my name is Jeff Gamboa. But just keep home, especially in the beginning. Okay. I encourage you to do the exercise where you write down what you just said in your own words next to each paragraph. Tape yourself. Get an interview scheduled as soon as possible. Who here has already run an interview? Okay, so we have a couple first timers. Okay, so you run in the summer, and then Julia's our most advanced one here. But I'm just telling you, get it done. And those of you in Greek life, right after pledging, just get an interview. You should set it for like the week after you finish pledging. If you're already used to not having many hours of sleep or eating, so just might as well just. Okay, got it. Okay, so we have San Juan back. We have Fort Lauderdale back. If you guys want to make sure the scores go into the Excel sheet, and then sometime tonight or tomorrow morning, you can send it over to me, please.
Want me to get everyone's
Yeah, we can do it later. Yeah. Okay. So welcome back. PJ still joined us. Wonderful. And we have Mike over in Clearwater. Okay, outstanding, everyone. So before we go to our next break, so we're going to go to a break. I want to transition to part 2 of our personal recruiting message. Let me make sure we're broadcasting here appropriately. Great. Okay. So Mike started off last prep with the basics, and do me a favor, I'd like everyone to go back to their notes and what you gathered and all the light bulbs from Mike's first personal recruiting talk. Let's go back to that real quick. And I'd like to go around the horn. And we'll go virtual first before we go here and tally. We'll go around the horn on some light bulbs from the general session last prep, September the 8th, on personal recruiting. He essentially went through a general overview. What Mike's going to do today is go specifically into triple threat and rep-driven PRs. And if you've been an assistant or a branch, you know the importance of Monday's triple threat and rep-driven PRs. Okay, so I'll start virtually. Anyone, San Juan or Clearwater Hub? You can raise your hand digitally if you like, just because we have that technology. We can take, or in tally over here. But this is where you go. I didn't take any notes. No, come on. Mike, you can go ahead and get set up here as I. So we'll start in Tally Hub. Oh, Jen, go ahead. Yeah, from last prep. PRs, go ahead.
What stood out to me the most that I highlighted here, or put a star next to, is that make that urgency. Tell them that they were personally recommended, that you have not a higher chance of getting the job, but you're already one step closer than everybody else.
Yeah, so I think applicants know they're preferred. That's why we're calling them.
Yes.
Okay, personally referred. What else? Oh, what else? Go ahead. Try.
So if they say, what's the job, they're really asking basically, why should I take it? So they're interested, and then you have to sort of capture their interest right there, and they're really just seeing if it's worth their time or not.
Yeah, so you're essentially selling the position on the approach. That's why the approach is so important. Cool. Dalila.
I liked what you said about building rapport. It's not like an interview on the phone. You're not asking them questions like, what school do you go to? What's your major? Question after question. I liked how he described that you give a little and then take a little. So they say something, you give a little bit about it. Oh, football. Oh, we have a ton of football players we work with a ton of football players, and you can talk about your school or whatever, then ask a question. So I like
that's actually my biggest takeaway from Mike's message last time, and that was the first time I've heard a phrase like that, where you give a little, you take a little, give a little, you take a little. That way you're not berating them with questions. So where do you go to school? What's your major? What do you like about it? How'd you get to that major? When do you graduate? It's like, what? Yeah. Where do you go to school? Dalila's role play. So Dalila, where do you go to school? That's right. Tallahassee. How do you like it up there?
Love it.
Yeah. What made you choose?
Oh, the campus is just beautiful.
Yeah, I have friends. I'm in Miami, so a lot of my friends went up to FSU, and they love it, especially the bar scene and the weekend scene seems pretty funny. You enjoying up there?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Oh, totes my goats. It's so crazy, isn't it? Okay. So I'm going to turn things over to Mr. Michael Abramowitz, who's going to talk about the next level. So you guys have a general sense of the approach. And that, ready, in a nutshell, when people finish training, we ask for their friends on the phone to submit. Okay. We also ask them to submit a list. That list is essentially for us to call, and the rest gets sent to conveyor. That's like in a nutshell. Well, Mike's going to talk about, okay, now that we do that, and on Sunday we try to call through these lists, what happens on Monday? And there's two things that start. I want you to start your notes with, and you can take it in the agenda or separately if that's more comfortable. There's rep-driven personal recruits. We call those RDPRs, rep-driven PRs. And then there's triple threat. So this is like phase 2 of how do you get more names. Phase 1 was we have them go to the app and upload all their contacts. And then we have them write down their top 20 names, top 10 or 20 friends that they think would be the best. Now this is step 2. And if you'll notice, there are multiple processes on how to get these PRs. So Michael has been highlighted in our national conference for being one of the best at doing this. Michael, time and time again, has been an authority on creating personal recruits. And on a fun personal note, I think I like watching Mike enjoy life. He's going to be – tell me about this Harley trip in California. What's going on there? I'm excited to hear about that. Oh, hold on. Let me unmute you. Or let me – go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a Harley on Friday, so I'm going to ride around LA, going to Anaheim, and going to go to Disneyland for a little bit and explore the scene. I've never done that before.
That's pretty cool. Just be careful. It's exciting. All right, Mr. Bromwich, I'm going to turn the stage over to you with personal recruiting. Stage is yours, friend. I appreciate you participating.
Cool. Well, there is a handout there's 2 handouts in the folder. So if you want to use those and follow along with me, you can. If you just want to take some notes in your journal, you can do that as well. So I broke the message up into a few different parts of how to set up alley-oops, how to set up triple threat, and the 3-way text messaging. Here's what I will tell you. For whatever it's worth, by executing this the right way, there were some weeks during the summer in my office where we would set up 20, 30, or even 40 PRs in an hour to an hour and a half time frame. Now, to put that in perspective, if it takes an hour to book up 2 for a receptionist, right? Essentially, we're getting, if we book up 20, we're getting 10 hours worth of work done in 1. So if I'm a branch manager, an assistant manager, or whatever it might be, and I'm able to get 10 hours worth of work done in 1 hour, I want to maximize my efficiency and I want to get good at this program. Okay. So how to get good at this program? Well, I have first off, before advanced training even starts, how you set it up. You set it up with on Sunday. Whoever's doing coaching calls on Sunday or WhatsApp, you just want to set it up that you're going to be asking them for help. So even in training, on day 2 of training, when you get their names, you'd be like, hey, by the way, we might need your help getting in touch with some of these people on Monday. On Sunday, when you talk to them at the end of the coaching call, you took them into bed at night. It's like, hey, by the way, I'm sure some of your friends, reached out to you, thanked you for the job. Yeah, a lot of them are probably excited. I know we didn't get a hold of everyone, so tomorrow we'll set aside some time so you can try to help us get a hold of some of those people that you want us to get a hold of. Is that cool? Cool. Like those 2 seed plans leading up to the Monday advanced training is going to help a ton. What you also want to do before you have that rep-driven session is I want to kind of gauge on how I'm going to split the team up into teams. Now, if I'm a branch manager, I highly recommend having a helper if possible. So that like PR caller, I would have them be in the office during this time frame or promote an assistant as soon as possible to help you with this. As an assistant manager during the summer, you want to be ready to just make sure that you can own your crew. Like it's like your crew that you're going to get a chance to work with and help them get their PR set up. So, so to kind of walk through this, the manager's running training, running the advanced training. The staff is in here, ideally printing off every list off of Vector Live. So they're printing off all the lists from Vector Live of the ones that did not get set up for interviews or didn't reject the call. So we're printing off, we have all these lists of every person printed off, stapled with their get to know you sheet on top of it. So now the only people that are here from Vector Live are the list of people that haven't been contacted.
Mike, can I interrupt? So
Jeff, you had a thought?
he's saying, so if you have a staff, that's what they're doing to get prepared. So let's assume 80% of you don't have a
So
staff.
do you want me to go in that direction, by the way? Do you want me to not? You want me to teach, assuming that they don't have a staff, or, or how would you like me to go about this?
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Let's do that, please.
So assuming that, am I assuming that they are helpers, these people talking, or am I assuming they're branch managers, the way I'm teaching right
Let's
now?
assume branch managers. That'd be good.
Okay, so if you're a branch manager, so if I'm talking to you as you're running your own business right now, you're running your own show, you want to print off these lists before you start training. Now you don't need to print off the list that has all the phone numbers if you don't want to, because it's more pages. You can just print off from rep info. You go to their name, you click their name, and do you want me to go through and show how to find that or no?
No, those logistics we'll teach them, but I'm running on the board as
Cool.
you say it. So thank you.
Deal. So you print off their names, and that way you know all the people that you could call. Now, what's nice about the sheet from their rep info sheet is it shows who's scheduled. So all you can do is just highlight all the ones that are scheduled for your intro to advanced training and say, so Johnny, on your sheet here, you already have so-and-so scheduled. Also shows all the people that are not interested. And then I just, with a black Sharpie, just cross those names off. So that way they don't look at the names and see, not interested. I just cross them off. Because here's what sometimes happens. They'll call someone that said they were not interested on Sunday because they talked to like a receptionist, or they talked to like my assistant, or if I'm a branch, they talk to a receptionist. But then the friend calls them. It's like, dude, he called me last night, but then I'm on the phone. It's like, hey, we spoke last night. It's like, dude, I'm sorry, man. You really wants to chat with you. I just at least wanted to connect. Would you be open to a conversation? And sometimes you can convert those people. So just a side note there. But anyway, so you have all the names printed off before you start advanced training. At the start of advanced training as a branch manager, you announce to the group all the people that are set up for interviews. And you do this to create the feeling that, okay, a lot of people are excited about the job. Because let's face it, a lot of their friends ripped them up on the weekend. Maybe a lot, maybe it felt like a lot. Maybe it was like two or three friends like, dude, why'd you give up my number? Dude, I'm not looking to work right now. Dude, the knife job sucks, whatever it might be. So you're just spitting fire on them. I'm like, hey, Nick, we just set up. We have 16 of your friends set up for interviews. My staff, they were working harder. If I'm a branch manager, it's like, hey, I worked real hard yesterday. I have 7 of your friends set up for interviews for this week. I did a couple of them call you and thank you for the job recommendation. Yeah, they were really excited on the phone. I'm excited to meet a lot of them. Like giving that feel at the start of advanced training is really important. And why that helps set up the triple threat is because it's like, guys, a lot of your friends, by the way, Mags, did you know that your friend Johnny was looking for a job? Probably not, right? They had no idea. That's a lot of the case, right? A lot of times you have no idea who needs a job, who's not looking for a job. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do something called the triple threat, where we want everyone to know we exist. And we don't know if they're looking for a job, not looking for a job. So what we do is every time you come into the office, we're going to do 3 things. We're going to, number 1, we're going to help you get more appointments. Number 2, we're going to teach you new things. And number 3, we're going to help you take advantage of every contest that's available. And I'm going to announce a huge contest today. Do you have socks on right now? You do? I'm about to blow them off. Okay, this contest is going to knock your socks off. Wait till you hear about it. You thought the Fast Start contest and the contest I told you in training was awesome. This one's really even that much better. No hype. Wait till you hear about it. It's ridiculous. So to help you with the contest, to help you win the trip, to help you win the cruise, to help you get the Yeti, go ahead. See, there's posters around the room. Go ahead, just take a picture of the poster. Just send that out on your Snapchat, your Instagram, and your Facebook. Once you do each one of them, just go ahead and show me. And that way, at the end of training, as they respond, we'll be able to set them up for interviews and help some of them out. So let me kind of come up for some errors. So Jeff, do you want to plug anything that's worthy of mentioning, or you want me just?
Yeah. So I want to review 2 big parts. If you haven't already pulled up the TLA PR talk September 28, 2018, this is in the folder. He's just going through this. So this is where I would be taking notes. First thing, this whole section where it says pre-AT1, at the end of Sunday or sometime in the morning Monday, I definitely think it's Sunday though, because Monday gets crazy, as you know if you've run an office. Sunday night, 2 things to prepare for Monday. I would make sure I print out all the people, like go to rep info, and we'll teach that later. Print out all the people's lists and mark who got scheduled. Like I would do that like in a green. That's like a positive. That way, on Monday, when you start off by saying, hey, by the way, before we kick off, I want to recognize all the people that got scheduled for interviews. Mila, you got 15 of your friends here, and you read the names off. And I do this every week. And I'll say, like, Naomi, you've got 10 friends. Dalila, Julia, they'll go, Julia, oh my God. Like, they always make these comments like, I can't believe they got scheduled for the job. The other portion that I want to highlight, perhaps in yellow or just make a mark, are the people that didn't get scheduled. And what Mike's going to be doing here is we're going to take those people on Monday, and at the end of advanced training, we're going to alley-oop. We're going to say, hey, and Mike will do this. Hey, Amy, these are the people we didn't get a hold of, so who can we call first? So I want to help get you to Cancun. And Mike's going to talk about how to set that up in a second. Okay, so this is all about setting up. If you have a staff for your returning branches, I would do all of this on Friday. I would get all your lists ready on Friday for your callers on Sunday, and then I would have an assistant do this on Sunday night for you. Like, I never did this personally in the pilot. Okay, Eric.
You have multiple assistants. Do you divvy it up by show percentages, or how would you split it up amongst your staff?
Mike, are you talking about strategies of how to split up and who to split up and who to give who?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could talk. I have a mention of that.
Cool. Go ahead. Thank you.
And to Jeff's point, I actually personally owned this because it is like a third, if not more, of our PR set. So I actually did print these off, and I actually did make sure that I did the admin side of it, just because I wanted to make sure that it was buttoned up completely, because I knew it was like a third of our PR set number, which is a third of our sales, which is a third of our recruits, which is a third of everything. So like I actually owned the majority of this, like 98% during the summertime. So just to echo that point, that it's pretty important. Now just to also make another point, this is not foreign. You guys all do this. What we do on Sunday, when you make phone calls to book up demos, you do like an all-day call day. You book up all the demos, right? You book up a customer, you have your appointments with Ms. Jones. Then on Monday, when you sit down with Ms. Jones, you finish up the appointment, you get a list of recommendations, and at the end of the appointment, you ask her to shoot them a text message. And if you have a little bit of time, you ask her to just pick up the phone and call some of them and pass you the phone. It's called leapfrog.
Yeah.
By the way, that was a sponsorship when I was new. My very first summer, a sponsor was when a customer called 2 people and I booked up 2 appointments from their house. That was a sponsorship, not 10 recommendations. It was give me 2 appointments, right? So just something to think about, guys. Like, this isn't a foreign concept. This is super what you guys already do, super simple, and it's very effective. So at the start of advanced training, we built up how to triple threat, and we give them direction. Like, we want to give them direction of what to post. So that's why you have posters around the office of the summer work poster specifically. And you can have them put the quotes that's there from Jeff's. Like, my job is looking for help, starting page 15, flexible schedule, great for resume, if things work out. Inbox me for more info. You could put swipe up for info if it's Snap, of course, whatever it might be. And as far as that goes. Now, here's the point that I want to make, is there are some enhancements to this that we learned at the task force right now. So keep in mind that there might be some enhancements in a 2.0 or 3.0 version of what I'm going through right now, but we're going to keep it at this at the moment. Cool. And then you just let your group know. It's like, hey, as people respond to you, don't worry about it. At the end of today, we'll have about an hour where we'll be able to get a hold of those people, and anyone else you want to help us get a hold of. So that's all set up with the triple threat. Anything else you need me to say about triple threat, or you want to say about triple threat?
Yeah, I'm kind of making a diagram for everyone. So advanced training, there's the pre-portion of the advanced training. This is where they're phone jamming, you're doing skills check. There's the teaching section of advanced training where it's essentially you play 2 My videos and you teach them, you walk through the demo. Then there's the portion of advanced training which is designated for rep driven. It's 1 hour, it's 2 hours, it's 1 hour. So your advanced training is 4 hours long. Okay. So what Mike referenced is before you go into the instruction, in order to get PRs, we will highlight all the people who got set up to make it exciting. And then we will let them know. I kind of put set up triple threat for later. So there's a script for this. You learned this in the spring where you say, okay, guys, and later on, for all the people that we didn't get a hold of last night, don't worry. There's a part at the end of training where we're going to be able to call your friends and get a hold of them for the job. That's essentially what you're doing at the beginning. Then there's nothing. Let me see. Actually, I take that back. Hold on. You're going to set up rep driven. Hey, everyone. What we're going to do is we're going to call a bunch of people that we didn't get a hold of last night, but we're going to do that at the end of training. But in the meantime, here's what we found. Through research, there are 3 forms of social media that get the best response that will help you get to Cancun. Number 1 is Snapchat. Number 2 is Instagram. Number 3 is Facebook. Okay? And you explain triple threat, and you have them post triple threat right before you start. And say, see that little poster over there where it says part-time work? You can take a picture of that, or you can take a picture of the paychecks, and let me show you exactly on the TV what to post. So you're going to show them how to post triple threat, and you post it. And then the big disclaimer before you start is don't respond yet. Sorry, I can't. So don't respond. Okay, so Samantha and Rob, when you guys post this triple threat, you're going to get a lot of people, hey, what's the job? They'll have questions. That's a good thing. Why? What does that show? Yeah, they're interested. At the end, I'm going to get their information, and I'll call them later. Okay, because they're already interested. And here's what's really cool. As you go through the teaching, when you take a break, you'll say, hey, by the way, take a look. How many people have responded so far? Yeah, that's cool. It's just getting better. We're going to get you to Cancun. So I'm building excitement for these responses. And then Mike's going to talk about this. We'll do rep driven, which is where we call people. Oh, sorry. Like echo. So someone's not muted. Hold on. Someone's not. That's why. Hold on. I'm going to mute everyone. Bye. I'm going to mute everyone. Okay. So highlight who got said already from Sunday Conveyor and who you called. Let them know we're going to call some friends at the end of training through rep driven, and then teach them how to triple threat and do it. Throughout the teaching, don't let them respond. Just say, hey, I'm going to show you how to pass those over to me later. And at the end, you're going to do 2 things. You're going to collect all the triple threat responses, and then you're going to set rep driven. Okay. And who can tell me, and Kirsten knows this from the pilot, Eric, you know this from running an office, we don't actually call the people that responded to social media during this section. We focused on calling people who didn't respond to social media and didn't respond to the text message or didn't pick up when you called them. Who can, and not the second year. And in first years, want to guess why we don't want to call the triple threat? We want to call people that haven't responded.
So they don't think that, we need them to be here.
Actually, I didn't think about that, but yeah, but that's not what I'm looking for, but I didn't think about that. That's actually smart. I could see that.
Well, I know why.
Mila, why?
Well, because they already showed interest, so you can just call.
Yeah, if someone's responding to triple threat, like, give me more details, what's going on? They're already interested, so I can always call them later in the afternoon during the day. These are people who haven't responded yet. We're going to try and call through their friend's phone. That's different.
Giovanni was retro.
Right? Yep. Giovanni's retro. Okay. Question so far? I'll take a picture of this hieroglyphics and send it. Okay. Mike, continue. Thank you. Let me unmute you, or you can unmute yourself, right?
Yep. Can you hear me? You hear me good? All right. Cool. So as far as now, we set up the triple threat, you do your advanced training, and there's another stump speech before you go into rep driven. Now, when you connect on the stump speech, they go right into action. If you don't nail the stump speech, they go into thinking. So that's why the stump speech is important, to create a frenzy to get more activity faster. So the stump speech is the unveiling of the contest along with the unveiling of what's in it for them, essentially what's in it for them and why they want to do this rep-driven session with us. So there's this other handout that's a fantastic one from Ben Jackson, and he walks through it. So So I'll just do this real time just so you can see real fast of like what this might look like. So it's not hype, it's pretty low key. So it's like this. So training group, I just want to let you know the biggest compliment that you can give to me, just like the biggest compliment you can get from a customer is recommendations. The biggest compliment that you could give to me is when you help us build our team. And when someone's a team builder here in an organization, we like to recognize that because that's a really big deal because it's a really selfless type of leader. And really there's 5 or 6 key benefits to someone who is a team builder and organization. And number 1, of course, the prizes are awesome. You got the 2, 4, 6 contest. You also have this trip. It's unbelievable. We want you to travel. Why would we want you to travel with the company? Create memories. Why do we want that for you? It's because that's, you know, you're young, you're working hard, you should get rewarded for your hard work. Why not? The number one reason why I want that for you is because we want you to live the Cutco dream, the college student dream, and we want you to experience travel in the world. Number 2 reason is when you're kicking butt and you're doing a great job, you're going to stick around longer, and then your friends are going to want to work here. So we want you to travel with the company. The second reason why being a team builder is awesome is you get a ton of recognition. Every single weekend at the team meeting, we have a newsletter, and as soon as you get your first 3 friends that complete training and launch out of the team, you are eligible to not only be on this newsletter, but to compete for a scholarship that the company offers. And the Team Builder Scholarship is one of the top premier scholarships that we offer to young people, and you become eligible for that. Number 3 is resume experience. When you're going to develop your leadership skills and team building skills as a recruiter, as a team builder, other companies look for that because that shows that you're not only willing to work hard for yourself, but you're willing to work hard for the greater good of the company. And that really speaks to other businesses. And that goes a long way, that you're able to influence other people in your peer group. Number 4 is the advancement opportunity. Now, so you have to understand that any good sorority, fraternity, any good sports club, any politician, what do they want? They want to recruit. They want someone on their team and on their staff that knows how to recruit the vote, how to recruit talent. A talent acquisitioner is one of the most sought out positions inside the workforce, including my office. So when someone's a really awesome team builder, you open up future opportunities for yourself, to Mr. Gamboa, to myself, and other executives. So this could open up an opportunity to get into Leadership Academy, turn an assistant manager role in the future, and potentially own your own branch office. And probably one of the most important things is that you get a chance to build something bigger than yourself. When you're a team builder, you have to understand that you're creating legacy. So we have a kid, for example, who's no longer with Cutco, but his name is Nihil. And this kid, Nihil, has created an entire legacy of people that will probably work here for the next 10 years through his lineage. And all he was trying to do was just get his part-time job, because he was a team builder and he recommended other friends that were team builders and other friends that were team builders. That's how we have Zach Schachter right now, who's going to be a senior branch manager running his own show, who's going to do Cutco through college and then, be a multimillionaire and say, hey, thanks Cutco for the Cutco through college experience. And really he doesn't have to thank Cutco, he needs to thank Nihil, because Nihil did something because Nihil was selfless and wanted to help the greater good of our organization. It's standing the test of time. It's changing a lot of people's lives. So we want you to be proactive in helping us get great people on board. If you're excited and interested about this Team Builder program, we're going to do this once a week where you'll come in and help us what we're going to do right now. We'll give you a taste of it. If you like what we're about to do right now, then you will love what we'll do for you in the future for 1 hour a week. And you'll stick around at the end. Just let me know you're interested. But are you guys ready to hear about the contest announcement?
Yes.
Okay. If you're not ready, I don't have to tell you. But this contest, I'm telling you, is the biggest opportunity that we offer you in your fast start. You ready for this?
Yes.
What if I told you for every friend that you help us get set up for an interview right now? So you help us set up 5 people for an interview right now. What if I gave you an extra $500 credit towards your fast start for every one of them that just complete their training? They don't have to sell $1. They just complete their training for anyone we set up today. I'll give you $500 credit. Would that be pretty hot?
Yeah, hot.
Well, don't get too excited. We don't do that. Here's what we do. I give you, ready? $1,000 credit not for everyone that we set up right now, but for every single friend that we have that you have that completes training this Friday. So Mac, like we said, we already have 7 of your friends. Yeah. All you gotta do is get those 7 to show up, complete training. That's $7,000 towards the Fast Start contest levels.
What?
Yeah. So you're at 7. You get 8 more today. You don't have to sell $1. 15 friends complete training. You're winning the trip from this contest prize. Plus, you get the VIP night and $1,800 in free cut go. What? Unreal, right? So this is why everyone goes for this, and we want to help you guys take advantage of this now. So that's like the stump speech, if you will. So let me pause, Jeff. Anything you want to echo or talk about before I just transition into the execution of the jam?
No, other than.
Oh, you're muted.
Here's the one thought I have on setting up rep driven. So you take a look at the picture. I sent it. You guys can see it up here. I sent it on WhatsApp. Okay. I tried to clean up the handwriting. What Mike just went through is, how do you really get people excited to pull the trigger on, yeah, call my friends that I've already blasted everyone on my contact list through this text messaging program, and oh yeah, let's call them still. But it's so funny in our offices, people are like, yeah, let's do it. How do you get that? You have to provide value in it first before you. It's like selling Cutco, right? Before you invest in $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, here's why it's worth it. So that team builder promotion is one reason why it's worth it. But an easy way, even if you're not good at that part, what's an easy sell on the value of why you want friends for the job? Like Mike, you can tell Mike's wired, and his organization is wired for legacy and helping people, and we are too. That's more advanced. But at the end of the day, what's the easy motivator for you to keep doing this to and with and for your friends? Trip
and prizes.
Trip and prizes. That's like baseline level motivation. And as you get higher, you get better at what Mike's talking about. And some of you are that good at that. Like we have the lowest level person here who has never run an office. Can you get them fired up about the contest? If you do a good enough job, and here's what I do know. Here's what I do find pretty good correlation. If I'm running a training and everyone is really fired up about the trip, and I get a lot of names, it should be pretty easy to get rip driven going because they wanted the trip in the first place. All right? So really what it comes down to, what's the most important talk of your recruiting is how to get names in training. That's the talk you have to nail, because it sets everything off. Because if Naomi says, "We'll take all my here's 300," I know why she wants to go on that trip. She wants to go on that trip. So on Monday when I say, "Hey Naomi, we sent all those text messages, and here's who got set up." Cool, huh? Yeah. And I called this list of 20, and here's who I got set up. But here's who didn't set up. So let's try and call them. She's thinking, yeah, let's go, because of that talk back in training. So it all comes back to, can you get people excited in training to build the team? And I hear a lot of team builder and why it's good to be a team builder. How about just get them lit about the trip? That's like base level. Like if I'm new, get them lit about the trip. You want more advanced, get them lit about the trip and being a team builder. You want them more than that, get them lit about the trip, team builder, and legacy. And as you go higher, there are more things you can get people motivated by. But if you're running a branch for the first time, that trip, and that's why we spend so much money on that freaking trip. That trip is an expensive trip for the company, but it gets us a lot of business. And how many people, went for the trip, and that's the sole reason that they were excited about giving names? Raise your hand if that was you. Like you didn't care about anything like prizes. And I'm just curious. Let me go. Who's got 3 or 5 or more pairs this summer? Okay, why were you motivated to give PRs? I mean, you think about it.
At first, the trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then later on.
And then just being a team builder.
And then, I mean, that kind of makes my point, right?
Yeah.
And there's more advanced. It's like first trip and then team builder. Who got? You have a lot of PRs, right? Amy. I'm sorry. Your last name is Amy.
Well, I wanted to get our summer going. It was like a business.
Okay. How about when you were a rep?
When I was a rep, I just really wanted Giovanni, and he was like vampire. I was like, this dude's gonna do so well. But I wanted the fast start credit.
Yeah, everything comes down to the credit and the prizes and the fast start. Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Perfect. We'll keep going.
All right. So I'll fly through this because this part's really simple because you've probably experienced this or seen this, but the rep-driven execution is a blast. I mean, this is like driving a phone jam. So what you want to do is you want to separate the team into teams. So say you have I always want to, you gotta have at least 2 teams. So if there's 2 people, great, now you have 2 teams. If you have 3 people, great, you have 3 teams. If you have 4 people, you have 2 teams, right? So like kind of use your best judgment. Ideally, the ideal situation is if you can have 3 teams. I like 3 teams, but I think 2 teams you can get the same thing accomplished. Because the reason why I like 3 teams is because I challenge the 3 teams to get to 10 each. So if I have 3 teams and there's 2 people each and I have 6 people in training, I say, all right, your goal is to get to 10, your goal is to get to 10, your goal is to get to 10. The first team that gets to 10 is going to win. But we want all of you to get to 10. Or you could do the top team over 10 is going to win.
And
why do I like
Mike,
that benchmark?
I'm going to introduce you.
Mike,
I'm going to interrupt you. When you say
you're
10,
muted. You're muted.
10 what? Hold on. I want to interrupt you, Mike. When you say 10, just clarify. I think some people miss that. 10 what?
10 PRs set up during that rep-driven session.
Yep. You see that? So in his office, he's getting 30 or 40 people set for an interview. 10 from this team, 10 from this team, 10 from this team, and then whatever he gets. Okay, I just want to point that out.
That's the goal.
Yep. What if I'm by myself and no help and let's say I don't have a receptionist at that time because I didn't do my job or she quit or I couldn't get her in. What if it's just you? How would you break it down?
If it was just me, honestly, I would probably still do this. I'd probably do the same thing. I mean, because here's what's going to happen. I would preface it by saying this: all right, you guys in your teams now. If I'm on the phone helping Zach right here, don't worry, I'll be real fast. Just like get your friend on the phone. Just say, hey, hold on 1 second, my manager will be right with you, and just put him on hold. I'll be right there. My conversation only takes 2 to 3 minutes. So if they're on hold for 2 or 3 minutes, no big deal. Boom, I'm with Zach, I'm on the phone. I'll tell you right now, if I'm a branch and I have someone waiting, I've done this as well. I have 2 phones to my ears right now. Now, I'm not telling you to do this, but I'm saying if you can get that skilled on the PR approach, why not? And all I'm doing is saying the same thing at the same time. And when it comes to rapport, and my people have seen me do this in some cases, and when it gets to rapport, I press mute on one phone, and then I say, hey, can you hold on just one quick second for me? Mute, and then I have this conversation with this person, and then I say, cool, oh, nice. Tell me about that. Mute, and then go back. So, okay, go ahead, and now it's masterful. It's fun to watch, but the only reason why I'm able to do this, I saw my mentors and my managers and my assistant managers do it. So if you can get to that point, it's fun. That frenzy is fun. Your people are like, oh, damn, that guy's a boss. That girl's a boss. So I'm not, but I'm saying, what I'm saying is just go with it. Just like if they have people ready to hand you the phone, get in flow. And if you miss a call, if they're like, whatever, you at least know you can get a hold of that person again. So I would still break into teams. I would still influence your people to get you.
Yeah, and what I would say,
go ahead.
Let's say I have three groups of however many reps in rep driven. Let's say Naomi just sold $6,000 her first weekend. Julie only sold $1,000, and let's say this Trent dude barely did anything. Okay, it's so funny how the Trent dudes of the world always have more friends. Yeah, my friend wants to work here. They always want to do the contest. They can't sell. They haven't followed the program, but they always load you up with friends. Don't prioritize the easy ones. Prioritize the Naomis and the Julias of the world and say, okay, Trent, actually, you know what? Get their number and I'll call them back if you have to. But prioritize, know where your names are coming from is what I'm saying. Don't just try to get the number. It's like saying, I have 20 appointments lined up. What if they're half of them are single and not max? It's not that good. I'd rather you have 15 really good set customers than 20 because you just want to hit 20 for a prize. Good, Mike. Okay, keep going. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a way better response. Listen to what Jeff just said. So, yeah, smart business person. So as far as that goes, so what we do is to drive the rep driven, to drive them to their numbers. I like doing free peelers for the winning team if we get a certain number. So if I'm a branch and I want to set up at least 10 during that rep driven, I'm like, hey, the winning team, if it's 2 teams or whatever, or you could just do whoever sets up the most. As long as we hit 10, whoever sets up the most is going to get an extra free peeler. That just an idea. If they have people on Snapchat or Facebook that they don't have cell phone numbers for, I'm telling them like, hey, who do you have in your social media that you don't have a phone number for? Why don't you just call them right through Snapchat or call them right through Facebook Messenger right now? Because you already gave us the people you have phone numbers for, of course. Why don't you send me? Why don't you get a couple of those people on the phone for me? And we always get a few extras that way too. This is a very important one for those who've already run a branch. I'm sure you may have slipped through this. We have before too. Is make sure the rep marks the sheets on who they called. So on those sheets, even if they don't pick up the phone, or if they did pick up the phone and they didn't set up an interview, make sure you mark those sheets. So that way when you do send them to conveyor, or you do call again, you're not blowing up the phone to the people who we've already tried to call before or spoke to before. And then the last point is asking them for another new top 10 list once you're done for the day. And that's the people that I call on Monday night. So it's like, hey, rep driven's done. We just set up our 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 PRs. Hey, great job, team. Look at what we just did. Peelers, recognition, high fives. You guys are going to get a bunch of free stuff. It's going to be awesome. Hey, before you go, what I'd like for you to do is on those sheets, put a star next to your next best 10 people. That if you're like, Mike, if I have time tonight, I want to call a few people, put a star next to the people you think would be the best bets for me to reach out to tonight if I was able to make some time to call 10 people. I might not be able to, but if I was able to, put a star next to those people for me. And I'll do my best to try to help you win those prizes. So then they go through and they create their the next best ones or put their stars on the sheet of paper. And then this is the big secret weapon that by executing this, you're gonna crush it. Is if you can get that 6K rep to put you in a 3-way text message with their top 10, game over. Game over. So say I got that 6K first weekend rep, I get all these top 10 lists from everyone, and then that 6K first weekend rep, it's like, hey, by the way, do you think you can put me in a 3-way text message real quick? I know you didn't win the peeler. I'll give you a peeler right now. If you just put me in a 3-way text message, I know you probably have to run to your next demo, but could you do that for us real quick? Just so that way I could just introduce myself and they're more likely to answer the phone. So that way it doesn't take too much time. Something like that. Also, here's another easy way of saying the same thing. Hey, everybody that you guys called today that didn't answer their phone, put a star next to all those people that didn't pick up the phone during a rep driven today. It's another way of saying the same thing.
Okay, Mike, I'm gonna interrupt on that one. So
and then the text message, as they say, is, hey, John, I was giving you a quick call to introduce you to my manager, Ben. He has a few openings available. Thought you'd be a good fit. Great pay, flexible schedules, awesome team. You should check it out. And that's a 3-way text. And then you as a branch manager would then respond to the 3-way text message like, hey, John, looking forward to connecting. Do you have a moment to chat? Something like that.
Okay, I'm posting right. Mike, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm posting kind of an updated picture based on what Mike had just covered. Watch this. Okay, so you want to start that? I just want to review this picture. So everyone pull up the picture on WhatsApp, or you can take a look on the board here. So Mike kind of went through the details, but if you can just kind of visualize this, this will help you prioritize. When you have advanced training, which is 4 hours long, okay, forget the teaching Cutco part, and forget the phone jam part, and forget the drill for stats. This is how do you get rep driven PRs? In the beginning, we're going to recognize the people that got set from who you called or who got texted on Sunday night. With me so far? Pretty straightforward. Number 2, we're going to mention that later we're going to call your friends from your phone because a lot of people don't pick up numbers they don't know. But that'll be later. Number 3, you launch triple thread. Hey guys, we just through research, this is the next phase of helping you get to Cancun. And it's called triple thread. Here's why it works. And you talk about social media and you show them how to do it and they post. Okay? Then during training, you make sure they don't respond to the triple threat. But during the breaks, I build up the responses during the breaks. I'll say, by the way, before we go to break, guys, take a look at your Snapchat and your Instagram and who's already got some responses. See, I told you, look how easy it is to go to Cancun. So So I'm making it all about Cancun and all the trips. And I just want to create excitement. And then what Mike talked about is we'll build up the contest, or as Mike said, build up the contest and team builder. And then you unleash the alley-oop, which is we're going to call your friends from your phone. We'll call the people who did not respond and not call the triple threat. That's till later. And then at the end, before they leave, you'll collect the triple threat, like all the people that responded. Hey, before you leave to check out, I need you to sign the sheet of all your appointments, and I need all the people that said they were interested from social media. So you collect those, and that'll be your ammo. That'll be your attack list for Monday night. Number 2, before they leave, you also want them to set a new top 10 list that will also be your ammo for Monday night. And then secret weapon, but not really secret anymore, is that what you can do is have them set up a 3-way text exchange. If anyone that wasn't contacted, you can continue to try and set that up through 3-way text, which is, and Mike, I know you from your experience, you can speak to this. It's really effective. If they got a text on Sunday, didn't respond, they got a call from you on Monday from training, they didn't respond. For some reason, that third text message gets it, right? It's like, hey, I've been trying to get a hold of you. I wanted to introduce you to my manager. And then they just take it from there on text. Any questions so far? Mike, anything you want to kind of tie a bow on it? Yeah.
Well, one final thought to kind of finish up this thread, guys, is when you finish everything and everything's said and done, I like to leave them with this little phrase of, hey, when your friends ask you questions, and you've already said this to them before, but I think it's important to say, friends ask you questions, when they respond, like, what's the job, what does this entail? Just allow us to explain it for you. I want you to focus on hitting your promotions. I want you to focus on doing your demos and selling the knives. I'll explain the job for you. So just stick to 3 words the way you explain a movie. Check it out. Check it out. I like it. I thought you would too. Talk to my manager. Here, I'll put you in a 3-way text message with them. That's the easiest thing you should do. And on Wednesday, ready? This is how you set up Wednesday Rep Driven. You say, and on Wednesday, anybody that responds back to you, anybody else that checks out your social media, anything between now and Wednesday, bring them in. Bring them in on Wednesday, and we'll go ahead and we'll connect with them then. You could always send it to me on Tuesday if you want to, but definitely bring a long list with you on Wednesday, and we'll help you become a team builder, and we'll do that once a week with you. Yeah. Like that little exit strategy there, that could go a long way. So I'm just gonna tie everything up. By doing this, by executing this the right way, branches, you're looking at it, 10 plus on a Monday that you could set up, which is really a half to a third of your PRs for the week. Assistant managers, if you're assistant manager, this is probably the #1 asset that you could bring to your district organization. And district managers, this is the program to help you bring your office to the highest level, because it's like an 8-to-1 conversion, sometimes a 5-to-1 conversion, even a 3-to-1 conversion for some of these rep-driven PRs. So you set up 3 and you get 1 out the door with a sample kit, versus traditional calling is like an 11-to-1 based on region averages. So it's way more efficient. You get more people launched, you get a larger of a team, and it's a lot of fun to do, and it's only in an hour. So that's my thoughts.
Excellent, Mike. Before we recognize Mike and go to break, I just want to add my 2 cents. So this is Monday. That little parting shot is really effective. Hey, Mike, or training group will say, hey, training group, if any more people respond or any more people are interested, we'll do this again on Wednesday. But if you don't want to wait, shoot them over to me. And how many of you were branches and people just kept feeding you PRs all through the week? So let them, what Mike is saying, there's an out. Hey, on Wednesday, we'll do this again. But if you got people responding, send them over. Let's get you to Cancun sooner. Okay? So that means, and so for me, this is like a little extra golden nugget here. On Tuesday, the reps I really want to replicate, let's say Eric had a big fast start first weekend, Naomi did 6K first weekend, Julia's at her first promotion. I know she's from a really good network. I'm going to ask on PDI, hey, Julia, did anyone else respond? Okay, I really want to help get you to Cancun. Yeah, if I work with you one-on-one and give you a little bit more energy, are you cool if I try and help you to get you to Cancun more than everyone else? Well, yeah, great. So let's triple, and I might have them triple thread again on Tuesday. All right, so you're going to do this and you're essentially from there on out in a rep's career, every Sunday and every Wednesday, they'll triple threat before phone jam. Raise your hand if you're from Metro Miami and Fort Lauderdale. You can't walk into the office without triple threading. It's like, hey, phone jam, cool. You got your tactics, so did you triple thread? Come on, post it. It's like, you just kind of do it. You don't even think about it.
So
Yeah, it's just for us in all the offices that really get this going, the check-in process is you check in to show your names list, you check in for all your documents, you check in your goals, and you do triple threat, and then you walk into the phone jam room. So Mike, explain how you kick it off, and then every Wednesday, every Sunday. Okay? Do me a favor, take 60 seconds, write down your biggest takeaways. And then during the break, I'm going to ask that you connect with a next level member who's done rep driven before or who's done alley-oops before. And I want you to interview them and share your biggest takeaways as a first year. And the next level, I want you to give your thoughts and tips on executing high level rep driven. So take 60 seconds for your takeaways, please. Mike, thank you. That was good. It was really good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Michael.
My pleasure, guys.
Say that in Spanish.
Gracias, Miguel.
Meet the Sora.
Yeah. Me basura. I was like my trash. Me basura. Another 30 seconds. Yes, sir.
Your thoughts on kids bringing their friends to Team Night Out?
I think it's great, but we can talk about that later. Absolutely. If your office is humming, you want people to see it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so,
Quick question.
the way Mike made it out to seem, it sounded like the three-way texting was more of like a last resort type situation. Did I understand that correctly?
So the question was, Mike made it seem that the triple threat was last resort. I would use it a different term. I wouldn't say last resort. I would say the last parting shot.
Yeah, the last like.
Yeah,
effort.
I would do that because your goal is to try and call.
Okay.
Yep. It's the same reason, ready, Eric? That's why we call text on fire.
Yeah, because I was thinking.
Kind of the same
Because
philosophy.
I was thinking about the success I had with triple with three-way, but it's because it was like my second round. Because
There it is.
Year,
There it
so,
is.
like,
Okay. Cool. Excellent. I now have 6:02, and we're going to catch up on time. I'd like to take a full 15 break so you guys can get some charge. We got 2 more topics. We're going to cover journaling, some finances. The finances is quick, so I'm going to cover journaling, finances, and then we're out of here. Okay. So it's now 6:02. We'll say 6:03. So we'll come back at 6:18. Hard start. So next level members, raise your hand. I want to find the next level member. I want you to share your takeaway with the next level member. And the next level member, I want you to give your biggest piece of advice for rep driven. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year.